MegaMan 8-Bit Deathmatch is a game that has been requested a number of times, even as far back as the Christmas marathon last year. This is a game that I've been sleeping on all this time because, much like Castlevania, I don't really consider myself to be a fan. I think I either beat or got very close to beating Mega Man 2 on an old iPad that I still own. I don't know why I was playing on an iPad, but aside from ABGN, that's pretty much the extent of my exposure to Mega Man.
Mega Man's looking at porn!
I pretty much have zero nostalgic connection to the series at all. That being said, when you guys started talking about Mega Man Doom, that got my attention. After doing God knows how many marathons at this point, I have reached the inescapable conclusion that if you give me a game that I don't necessarily care about, but if you put it inside of Doom, which is a game that I do care about, I'm probably gonna play it. It's kinda like putting spinach on a pizza. Normally I wouldn't eat spinach on its own, but I will never turn down pizza. That's what these Doom mods are like, I'll never turn them down. So today marks the first time ever, probably, that I have spoken about Mega Man in any capacity. So I guess you could say it's a mega momentous occasion. Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch is exactly what it sounds like. It is a deathmatch-oriented multiplayer FPS game based on the Mega Man series. Particularly the 8-bit hexology of games for your 42-year-old cousin's favorite console, the NES. Of course, he probably just calls it the Nintendo. He also probably thinks video games haven't evolved past Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but he can't even beat Dark Souls, so what does he know? Even though the multiplayer is one of the major components for this game, my internet has been wonky lately, and I'm not in the mood to get accused of lagging and cheating deliberately in a multiplayer lobby, even though it's not at all my fault. So this will be focused primarily on the game's surprisingly robust single-player campaign. This is a massive love letter to those old games. The levels all lift sprite and texture work out of the originals, and each individual stage is reimagined as a big FPS arena. Everything you could reasonably expect from a multiplayer deathmatch shooter thing is here. Intense firefights, chaotic layered combat, and whittling down an enemy's HP for 3 hours just for some asshole to run up and steal the kill at the last second. Like, several fucking times. Come on, you think you can come and steal my kill when I did all the work? That's how you know this is a quality FPS game, because it makes me unfathomably angry. Between all the different weapons which make an appearance in all the different characters and special moves, there is an element of chaos in this game that you are gonna love and hate depending on which side of the chaos you're on. It is incredibly addicting. I could never just sit down and only do one match at a time. I've recorded for over an hour. There will be some matches where you get slapped around by all kinds of shit you could probably barely even perceive in the moment, and then there are other matches where you realize one weapon is actually extremely effective in this scenario. Look at the Snake Finder, this thing is badass, or what about the Quick Boomerang? I love this thing. You just get right in the enemy's face and go They really nailed the arenas, not just in how they look, but also in the gameplay elements as well. There are stage hazards in every level. There are layers and verticality to make things more interesting on the fly. Weapons and health are sprawling all over the map, which make for these intense skirmishes where you're in a shootout and you're scrambling for the health pickup that you made a mental note of earlier, and nope, fuck you, you're dead. If there's one thing that I would add to the single-player campaign, it would have to be the ability to restart a deathmatch in the middle of a match. In this game, the only way to progress is to get first place in every single tournament, so if you find yourself in a situation where it's very clear that you're just not gonna win, like you're a minute into the match and you and man are 0 and 9, it'd be nice, not to mention far less demoralizing, to be able to restart the match instantly instead of having to get kicked around for another 2 minutes just to get another try. And to add insult to injury, if you lose badly enough, the game flat out tells you, you suck. Yeah? Well, maybe this game sucks. Ugh! One of the coolest parts of this game is the story. Characters all have flavorful dialogue and distinct personalities, but as you progress through the matches, they reveal more of the story to you. Dr. Wily keeps trying to recruit you because you're canonically very good at the game, but when you continually refuse, he starts ambushing you with his robo-goons, and chapter by chapter, you uncover this grand conspiracy. It's always really nice when games like this have effort put into the story. It's something that is relatively superfluous in a game that is otherwise entirely gameplay driven, so it demonstrates that they really cared about what they were doing. As far as I can tell, I was only able to get halfway through the story because of time constraints, but if I had infinite time, I would probably have beaten it. The game is genuinely hard for me to put down, and even as I'm making the video and looking at the footage right here, I honestly want to hop back on and play it. So if you're wondering how I feel about this game, well, there you go. It's real good. Maybe even mega good. And goddamn, just look at how far we've come. There's only one day left of the first ever summer marathon, and I didn't even have to delay any of the videos. I'm honestly kinda surprised that I made it this far, but always remember, I could not have done this without you guys suggesting games all the way through. You guys legitimately saved my ass on this one. And when you tune in for the final video tomorrow, I hope you'll remember that. But until then, thank you so much for watching my video.